Heyo everybody, Haku here with my read-through for The Promised Neverland, chapters 18, 19, 20, 21, and the omake that comes after 21. Sorry this is a week late. Last week was the first week of the month, which is always crazy because of all the stuff that I like, all the manga and comics and stuff that I read and cover on the channel that come out monthly. They basically all come out the first week of the month, and it's always crazy. Still though, I was hoping to have this up at normal time, but yeah, it couldn't happen, so I had to take a week off from read-throughs, and so that's why I'm a week late. And earlier this week got kind of screwed up with some videos. So because of other stuff coming earlier than usual, I mean Boku no Hero Academia and One Piece mostly, this kind of got pushed behind them because of them coming up earlier. So yeah, sorry about all that it's a bit late. But next week will be Beastars as usual on Wednesday, and then this will be the Wednesday after that again. And like I said, there's a few that I'll be doing differently that I'll probably be doing more than for a week. Like if it's like, I know there's one that's like, it's a title part something and it's 5 parts, and I'll want to do all 5 parts together. So that'll be like a special 5-chapter episode or 5-chapter week or something. So yeah, just know that some weeks might be longer than 4 chapters, actually. And I said that last time too, I think. But I'm not going to talk too much about random scheduling and stuff because I've already kind of got that out of the way. Forgive me if while I'm reading I forget something here or there, but I don't think I've forgotten anything at all. I have a pretty good grasp on everything that happened. We just had the Hidden Room and William Minerva chapters, which were my favorite chapters so far. I like the whole concept of Emma and Ray as well, I believe, noticing in the books the messages left behind by William Minerva and who he could possibly be. It really deepens the mystery of what could be outside of the Gracefield house. And then in addition to that, we had just normal stuff progressing the rest of the characters. I feel like we had a bit with Gilda and Don in that room. And I always want to call him Dom. And I fear for them getting caught a little bit less so than I did at first. But I fear for them getting caught at some point. Or for them to face, and I've been saying this for a long time, for them to face the consequences of the main three's actions. So either way, we'll see how things go. And as for characters so far, I think that obviously Emma's my favorite. She's the one I most empathize with, the one I most agree with in all her plans and stuff, and I like that she's actually not just strong but smart and everything else. She's strong and smart and good morally, I guess, compared to the rest that kind of delve more into the gray areas. Gilda is also a character I really, really like, even though I feel like there are a lot of death flags upon her. And then I would say next, some of my favorite characters would be like Crone and Isabella's probably either my second or third favorite behind Emma. Because Isabella's just such a well-written villain where she's really smart, she's ahead of them at every step, she's this great obstacle. She's a really well-written antagonist because she has such a deep connection to the protagonists. And yet, even though there's all these things that make her this big, bad, evil obstacle, she's also a character that we can kind of empathize with, even though we don't know her full story yet. I still feel like knowing that she was one of those kids and that she's done what she did in order to save herself makes her pretty empathetic, because though she's done terrible things, she's only done it for the sake of her own survival, after all that she's been through. And also I like Crone, because even though she's like more totally evil, just the crazed ambition and being a totally bad antagonist to kind of balance out the understandable antagonist of Isabella, it adds more into the series. And then next, I guess, would be Ray, and then after that would be Norman. Just because, I don't know, Ray, I feel like, I don't want to call him a more honest anti-hero kind of guy, But maybe that's a decent way to describe him right now. And then Norman is a good guy, and I kind of like him, but I see a lot of death flags, and I have since the beginning, so I feel like I haven't connected that deeply with him. And in addition to that, I feel like sometimes he may go a little bit too far, and some of the things he's done, like not being totally honest with Emma or Gilda or Don, some of these things may end up coming back to bite them. But yeah. Either way, let's go ahead and start reading at chapter 18 now that I've gotten that little bit of discussion out of the way. That was probably 5 minutes. Geez, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant for that long, but other than this, I haven't really had much. There weren't many comments ever to talk about and discuss in the Haku Q&A. So other than this, I don't really get a chance to discuss it, you know? So either way, we have Chapter 18, Resolve. Volume 1's finally in stores. Have a color page to celebrate its amazing kickoff success. And sorry if I lose my voice quickly. I recorded for like an hour and a half early in the week, and ever since then my throat's been like kind of killing me every day when I record. So sorry, but I'm trying to do the best I can. And I'll probably be drinking a lot of water to offset that as well. But I'm taking in this cover. It's a nice little Christmas cover because I think this was released when I went to click on the chapter. It said like December 2016 or something like that. So this warmth that'll never return again. I always like the art for all of their chapter covers and everything. Okay. It's all cute. Okay. Moving along though. To be fair, I've kind of come to the point where I like just the black and white, just the normal black and white artwork in manga more than a lot of colored pieces. Okay, so they're screwed if they get found out. And we have Isabella walking into her office. It's Mama. What now? Thinks Don and Gilda. Or mostly Don, I think. Is she here because she's noticed that her key is missing, or is she just here for something else? Which is it? Stay calm. What would those three do if they were in our shoes? Thinks Gilda. Emma, you guys. And then she realizes something. What if they're actually not telling us the truth? Come to me if your gut tells you that Emma's lying to you. She remembers what Krone says. Is it really all just a hoax? Are Connie and the others actually? I'm wrong. That's definitely not something Emma would do to us. Let's get out of here, whispers Don. Yeah, Gilda whispers back. It's entirely possible that right now Mama hasn't noticed a thing yet. We've got to be silent, swift, and stealthy. And we're seeing their plan to escape out of the bedroom exit rather than the office exit. Let's go. And he makes a break for it. But man, and we have the main three walking down the stairs. Ray doesn't surprise me since he always had his nose stuck in a book since we were little. But to think that Emma was able to decode that hidden message, says Ray, finishing Norman's sentence. Actually, it wasn't me. Huh? I wasn't the one that discovered the code. Phil was actually the one that pointed it out to me. This kid is a genius. Phil was actually the one that pointed it out to me. Phil? Yep. He just so happened to be reading one of Mr. Minerva's picture books. Look, you can read this as run. And that particular book just so happened to be a book on Morse code. So after that happened, I got curious and went to check all the other books. See, it all makes sense now. Hold up, what are you trying to And then they get cut off. Wait, where's Don and Gilda? And all the kids are running around in chaos. I like the pigtail girl too. How many... We have not yet met all the kids or learned all about all of them. There are just too many. Like, look at all of them. I didn't even think there were this many. But yeah, I guess there's what, like in the low 20s is the amount? Or is it only like 16? Hold on. How many are in frame here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Add Don and Gilda, that's 29? And there may even be more hidden behind the text bubbles. They're not in there? I didn't think there were that many. Okay then. I like the pigtail one though. The design's really cute. We're gonna go help set up for dinner, they remember. I clearly remember him saying that, thinks Emma. They're not here either, says Ray. It can't be. And then Isabella glances over and walks to her door. Uh-huh. Oh, you need something, Eugen? I think maybe they meant Eugene. It might be a typo, or it could just be, I guess, I don't know how to put it. The Japanese original author using katakana to try to spell Eugene, but ending up with Eugen instead. But either way. Mama, I found this on the floor, he says, holding out the key. Since when? She thinks, all surprised and shocked. Thank you, sweetheart. No holes in my pocket. Since when? And then she thinks. And Don and Gilda walk up to Emma. Don, Gilda. Thank goodness. We just assumed that. Where have you been? Ray cuts her off angrily. What? And then all the kids around start looking. The kids are watching, whispers Norman. Let's save this for later. And then we see this skipping of time until we get to night. So, we were in Mama's secret room, says Don. It was in a hidden basement. How'd you get in? Don pickpocketed Mama's key. He pickpocketed Mama! Emma freaks out. Well, has she noticed, says Norman. I don't think so. We also returned the key to her. Probably. So, probably, thinks Ray. This is exactly why we shouldn't have. Thank you for putting us at risk, you morons, says Ray. Just try using your brain a little. What if the room was rigged with some sort of security camera or listening device or alerting system? Mama and Sister Crone would find us out, and then you guys, no, all of us would be what? Spit it out, Ray, says Don. Killed? What? You liars. You don't know what happened to Connie? We need to go save our siblings? What a load of bullcrap. You know we can't go save them, because Connie and everyone else is already... I'm sorry, says Emma. I'm so sorry. Just as I thought. See, Gilda, they really were lying to our faces. Moron, thinks Ray. What are you hiding from us? Spit out everything you've got. And now we have a panel of them explaining. What? Demons, and a farm. No way. Connie, everybody, even we, were raised for the sole purpose of becoming food? Also, Ray is a spy? All this time. Remember, it was for our sake, says Norman. Then Ray, you knew what would happen to Connie on the day she left. Emma, Norman, so both of you were trying to lead us into a world full of enemies without us knowing a single thing about the truth. And then he starts laughing maniacally. Quit messing around with us, and he punches Norman. Don, says Ray, lashing back. And he catches a punch too. Get these hands. Then he grabs Emma, but he stops. Don, says Gilda. Are we really that useless in your eyes? Are we seriously so useless that you had no choice but to protect us from the world? I don't want to put them in danger, thinks Emma, back to what she thought then. If those two don't know the truth, there's a chance they may be spared. I already know why you lied to us. We know that Emma wouldn't do something like that. But when she does, it's because you wanted to keep us safe, right? Says Don. I get it. Still, please help us out, he thinks back. I thought you guys wanted us to help you out. It's depressing. It's frustrating. It's true that we aren't as smart as you guys are. Nobody can deny that fact. But we're family. We're siblings. We just wanted you to have a little faith in us. And now Emma looks, of course, hurt by what she did. My bad, he says. I'm acting a little strange right now, so let me go cool down for a bit. Don, says Gilda, following him. And now we see the main three looking distraught. It definitely wasn't our intention, but now I can see how cruel we've been to them, says Emma. Like he said, there's no denying that we aren't on the same level. Anyway, you did say that you were prepared to take anything from those two when you first proposed the idea that we should all escape together, says Ray. Well, yeah, but Don and Gilda really trusted us. Okay, we believe in you. Let us know if there's anything we can do. They're so supportive of us, and yet... Gilda, you see, I'm just taking out my anger on them. I'm not angry that they're treating us like weaklings. We forced them into a position where they had to lie to us. We couldn't do a single thing to change the situation anyway. I was so ignorant and so powerless. And that's the part that pisses me off the most, he says, crying. It hurts. I want to be stronger. I want more power. I know. I'm going to go apologize to those two. I wasn't thinking right. I invested in preparing for them to resent us, but I didn't invest in trusting their abilities. I need to tell them I was in the wrong mindset. Thanks to those two, I finally know the real way we should be approaching this escape. I won't make any more mistakes. The 5 of us have to come together again. Desperation accelerates. Oh, I've seen it all. And Crone was watching them. Okay, this is getting really, really good. I like that. And I like that seeing what went on there has, again, given Emma more clarity about how they should escape. And I think that's more than just the physically how they should escape, but it's more of the social, how they work together and communicate of how they should escape, which is probably more important than even the physical how they should escape. Because even if they have a way to do it physically, if they can't properly communicate and if their wills aren't all working towards the same goal, and if they aren't mentally prepared to survive what they have to outside by relying on each other, then they're screwed even if they physically escape. So more importantly than that, the will and the social aspect has to be there. So let's move on to 19, I guess. I don't really have any predictions from there since we're about to read 3 more. So yeah, let's go ahead and just jump straight into 19 for now. The Promised Neverland. We will always be together, and we see them as younger kids. Volume 1's flying off the shelves. Includes various volume original illustrations. Hurry up to your nearest store to get your very own copy. Chapter 19, Out. It's really titled Out. I don't think they're escaping yet, though. Yeah, definitely not anytime soon. I feel like we've still got a good at least 10 chapters before they try to escape, because there's a lot that still needs to be done. We still don't know about all the William Minerva stuff and what they can figure out from that. We still don't know about them scouting out the outside at all. Because, I mean, they kind of just looked, but they don't really know. We don't know as much about how they're going to all come together as a group now after this. So we'll see how it goes. And again, I like with this illustration how the 5 of them are there in the middle and in the forest surrounded by the other kids. And I'm sure there's probably other stuff that's meant to signify things that I'm not sure of. Like, I'm sure this fruit is probably a good signifier of things in art. We have the family of rabbits, the pair of birds. So, we'll see how things go. And now, can't run away anymore. Don, Gilda, says Emma, running up. Emma, I'm sorry, I was being naive. I made such a stupid decision. I should have trusted you guys. Thanks for having faith in us, and making us realize how wrong we were. Apologies from us too, says Norman. No, says Don. I'm sorry too, for getting too heated and punching you guys. You guys okay? Well, obviously not. Let's head to the infirmary right now. We're fine, says Norman. We're sorry for acting on our own too, says Gilda. Yeah, Ray definitely has all the right to be mad after what we did. Just, we're really, and they're serious reflecting. Come on, Ray. Forget about it. I'll make sure to cover for you guys if anything happens. Oh, Don smile. And then he thinks back to Connie and the rope note that he gave. Okay. I'm also sorry for stuff I did. From here on, petty lies are going out the window. So let me ask again, says Emma. If we're dead meat if we screw up. There are terrifying demons outside of this place. But are you two still willing to come with us? They look at each other. Of course. My feels. Don't kill my girl Gilda. We'll also do our best to become worthy of your guys' faith. So let us do anything we can to help out. Thank you so much. Alright, now we have to start planning for the next step. Inspection. It's Norman. I already have a task I'd like to ask you two to carry out for me. November 1st, Wednesday. I really do feel a lot better now that we've come clean. Agreed. And we have Emma and Norman talking. When are we going to come out to them with the truth? Will you even be able to do it? Ultimately, I think that was a perfect time for them to find out the truth. 1 week left until we execute our plan. Everything's going well and there's practically nothing else that can go wrong to screw us over. We can definitely make this escape work out. There is a hell of a lot that can go wrong. I mean, the plan is going well, that's true, but there is always a hell of a lot that can go wrong. The main issue right now is how to fool Ray up to the very end. Leave everyone else behind, besides Don and Gilda behind. I need to figure out a way to get everyone out of here without Ray noticing. Why am I drawing a blank on the most important part of this plan? It's impossible to pull off with our current situation. Just what is there that I could do? Hey Norman, got time to hear me out for a bit? Says Emma. Yeah, so I've been thinking on my own for a bit, on how we'll manage to get everyone out. And now we skip ahead a little bit. Is it too risky? Yeah, Still, I think it's definitely possible to catch Mama off guard this way. Also, I think this is the only plausible way for us all to escape at once. Yeah. With this plan, we might even actually be able to carry out our plans without Ray realizing a single thing. Anyway, there's something else that's been bothering me with Ray. Ray, when and how did you find out about the secret of this house? All these years I've been working out a way to keep you two alive. You too. If I'm not crazy, Ray might actually be planning to... And if that's the case, I also need to think of a way to stop that from happening as well. He might be thinking that Ray is going to try to frame Don and Gilda so that they can more easily escape. I went and managed to swipe what you asked for. Laundry powder and herbicide. What do you even need this stuff for? Also, now thinking about it, when he delivered that note, that is maybe, or could be kind of maybe framing Don a little, but we'll see. Because, I don't know, the way he was thinking back to it, I don't know, he might try to frame Don and Gilda. They'll be useful for when we carry out our investigation. And then they look confused. Hey. When you say investigation, you mean climbing over the gates and checking out what's outside, right? Says Gilda. But what about our trackers? About that, says Emma. We just need to divert the adults' attention. Exactly. All we have to do is distract Mama and Sister Crone so that they don't check our location. We're going to create a situation where those two definitely won't be looking at their pocket watches, and quickly execute our inspection while those two are looking elsewhere. But how? Ray's already got Mama under control. He's currently feeding her some false intel. You and Norman, of all people, getting into a fight. And he's telling that to her. I admit it got pretty heated. Well, that aside, what did you want to talk about? Norman is planning to kill you. He says, oh shit. He doesn't give a damn about the risks anymore. There's no other way, according to him. Well, it only makes sense if they're truly planning to escape with all of the children. And they're gathering materials. A hammer, laundry powder, herbicide, all kinds of things that might end up coming in handy. So, are they planning on using that unbelievably short piece of rope as well? Yeah. Just to let you know, I tried my best to stop him. I made sure to let him have a piece of my mind. And so that's how you ended up looking like that, says Isabella. Poison. I suppose I'll have to look out for a drug he'll be making. You'd better not ship us out before the deadline, says Ray. I want my friends to live until they're 12, in this peaceful little orphanage of yours. You can exchange the contents of the drug bottle with fakes if you must. Do you know where it is? Yeah. All right. Then I'll plan to deal with that around tomorrow or so. Perfect. Now we have some time to carry out the inspection tomorrow. Is that the end of your report? Yeah. Anything else that's been bugging you lately? No, sir. Oh, let me tell you about something in advance. I had a message delivered to me from the higher-ups during my daily check-in yesterday. We've got an official schedule for the next shipment. Next month, there will be no shipments. The next shipment coming up will be in 2 months minimum. The next shipment will be, he says, this upcoming January, when I'll be turning 12. I guess it's finally my turn to go next. Okay, so Rey is the next shipment, but I'm assuming that this is actually a lie, and that there is going to be a shipment. Because I think she's playing Rey here. I mean, it's more complex than just her playing Rey and just the one lie. I think a big reason to do it might be to make him think they have more time, and then he's maybe going to try to delay Norman because he thinks they have more time to plan it out. Of course, that's a possibility, and then it's not going to work out because the shipments go the way they do. And no way Rey is going to be cool with him or the other two dying because of his will to keep those two alive. But there is also another option that I was thinking of, is that when he said, we need to keep you two alive, and Norman was thinking about that and saying, we don't want it to happen, it might not be that he's planning to frame Don and Gilda. It might be that he was saying, we need to keep you two alive instead of keep all three of us alive. Norman might be thinking that Rey's going to try to sacrifice himself, and that could be why he's so cool with us right now. So maybe that's what Norman's thinking, is that Rey would sacrifice himself to get those two out. So we'll see how it goes. Guys, I get that Rey has Mama under control, but what about Sister Crone? Yeah, if she finds out, it's game over, isn't it? Says Gilda. Don't worry, I've got a plan for her as well, says Norman. We've all got our pieces on standby. Now the only thing left is to inspect, gather our materials for the journey, incapacitate the adults, and get everyone over the wall. I won't give up on a single person. I won't let anybody die either. I'm definitely going to make this work. And when he thinks about that, he thinks about Rey, of course. So he isn't going to give up trying to save him too. But his thoughts get interrupted. We see Crone watching on. Man, Crone is such a creepy and good antagonist. And then they all notice. Would you like to speak with us? I've seen everything, she says. Huh? I've heard your entire conversation back in the dining hall. The target includes all 5 of you. She found us out. Well, what does that... does that mean that... And Don's starting to freak out. It's all over. Norman, Emma, Rey, Gilda, Don. I finally caught them all by the tail. So hey, the escape plot thickens. Would you 5 like to team up with me? And of course they have visions of death, and she offers them that. Huh? Oh! I actually didn't see this going on Crone's part. Because, again, this is another thing. Instead of, like I said earlier, instead of going the obvious route, there are unobvious routes they could take. Like with Rey sacrificing himself would be a non-obvious route to take. This is a non-obvious route to take. Instead of her turning them in and using the credit she gets from turning them in to be placed above Isabella, she works for Isabella, so Isabella would still get the credit for hiring her and part of the credit for just running the whole operation. But a way that Crone could do it is she helps the 5 of them escape. And if she helps them escape, instead of giving credit to herself, what she's doing is discrediting Isabella. So instead of building herself up, she's going to tear Isabella down, and that's the way she could go about her ambition. So that's actually really, really good and creative. I like that a lot. So this was a really deep chapter too. And that's, again, I've said a million times, what I love about the series. How deep and thoughtful and thought-provoking all of it is. And how, again, for lack of a better word, smartly or intelligently written it is. God, it's really, really good. I don't think I've had any water so far this read-through. I probably need some. That is so good, though. That's really creative. And again, those might not be the ways that they go with things, and there are going to be a lot more twists and turns. It's not going to be that simple, because this pacing does keep itself not really slow, because a ton happens. It's not really slow, it's just very detailed and methodical. So for all the time that passes, there's a lot pushed into that time. So let's see what happens next then. For chapter 20, let's start now, and we're not starting on a chapter cover page. For now, we need to watch out, especially for Sister Crone. We're screwed if Sister Crone finds out. I've seen it all. And then we see her looking in on their conversation before. Would you like to team up with me? Huh? Emma, huh? And then it happened. All out of the blue. Okay. So this is really interesting if that is the plan she goes with. To discredit Isabella by helping them escape. The Promised Neverland. Her eyes, like that of an individual observing mere insects. Volume 1 is doing well in sales, several volume original illustrations included. Hurry to stores to get your own copy. Chapter 20, Teaming Up. So I like this, and in her eyes they look like insects. She's just viewing the kids as like, if she lets them escape, who cares, they'll get caught or die or whatever anyway. But what she's using them as is pawns in her game against Isabella to try to overcome it. And in her game in the grander scheme, when it comes to whatever the demon's society or structure is here. So again, very creative. I like this. Let's see what we get. Teaming up with Sister Crone. What's she talking about? Thinks Emma. Isn't her aim to catch us in the act and immediately ship us out? I see how it is, thinks Norman. Okay, stay calm, guys. We'll be okay. Let's listen to what she has to say. This kid, thinks Crone. Exactly. All I'm asking is for us to join forces in order to help each other achieve our goals. Achieve our goals? That's right. Your goal is to escape. Mine is to become the mama of this house. My ultimate wish is to drag Isabella out of her position and to snatch it for myself. Her position, says Don. And see, one thing I like about this, hold on, I might have lost my train of thought while reading what they were saying. But yeah, I did lose my train of thought. Oh well, guess I'll just continue. What was I about to say though? Huh, oh well. Okay. Just to make sure you all know, I'm telling nothing but the truth right now. In essence, my goal is also to escape from my current situation, and she shows the numbers on her neck. Do you all know the rules of how this system are organized? Okay, so we might get some of the rules, even if some of them might be lies, of how the system the rules of the system are organized. Girls who successfully clear a certain set of requirements and end up living here until the age of 12 are given two options to choose from. One is to be killed, and the other is to work towards becoming a mama. Girls, what are the requirements? Says Don. Satisfactory grades and a recommendation from their very own mamas. As long as you manage to pass both of these hurdles, you will always be guaranteed an option for survival, though this only applies to girls. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend anybody to take that path, because they'll modify your body so that it'll become physically impossible for you to leave your designated areas, and she shows a scar on her chest. You all are still capable of doing that. What are you talking about? Says Emma. A microchip. We adults have small devices embedded in our bodies. It's programmed to send an electric shock that'll stop our hearts if we take even a single step outside of our grounds. At the same time, this thing is also programmed to send an alert to our higher-ups if our heart ever happens to stop on its own for varying reasons. Okay, so again, this is very important information. Now they know that they can't kill them. So this is very interesting, and I wonder if the reason that Crone is able to move from house to house, because she had to come here from somewhere, would mean that would mean that the way it works is that the demons can program it to let them leave to go to a different place and then program it to make them stay there. And if it's reprogrammable from a distance, then that would make it seem that the demons have a lot of technological advancements. So it's weird, given the fact that humans have lived in a normal world up until like 2015 or whatever it was, and then that's when things split off and we have things as they are now somewhere around 2030, and some other group had to come in with this. The demons had to come in with this technology. I don't think it's anything supernatural. This doesn't seem like that kind of series. So the demons, I'm thinking at this point, either have to be some sort of other species of creature that was alive hiding somewhere in the earth, maybe underground mole people theory, or they're aliens. And I don't know much. I haven't looked up anything about the series because I obviously don't want to be spoiled on stuff. But I would guess that aliens are probably a popular theory. Mole people theory is also probably existent as well. So yeah, let me continue on. In other words, we really can't kill the adults, thinks Norman. My only option is to live within these grounds. That's why I really want to make the best out of what I have. I want to spend the rest of my days as a mother, even if it's all fake. I would love to live in a cozy little home with a cozy family filled with innocently adorable children who will all love me unconditionally. And see, I like this, it makes me feel for her, but we don't know what all is a lie to convince them to work with her. And that's why I must get rid of Isabella. I must erase her. If you children successfully make your escape, Isabella will be forced to take responsibility for it all. My dream will actually come true. And see, if a mama is a mama long enough, we've seen from Isabella they get freedom, right? So I'm sure Crone doesn't know, but couldn't she just wait a year for Isabella to get her freedom, and then Crone takes over after her? I don't know how all this works. We don't really know yet. Okay. If you children successfully make your escape, Isabella will be forced to take responsibility for it all. My dream will actually come true. That's why I won't do anything to get in your way. Okay. Run away as far as you'd like. It'll do nothing but benefit me in the end. You won't ship us out? Us, the targets? I won't. Come, let us become partners. We share one common target, and that is Isabella alone. See, this could help them escape, but at the same time, you kind of think they were raised and have more loyalty to Isabella than to Crone, so if Crone's trying to take her out too, I don't know. We'll see how things go. I don't know how their feelings will mesh with this. Let's work together to drag her down. Because I get the feeling that Emma wouldn't want to work together with Crone. Because all Crone's going to do is continue the system. Once they escape, Crone's just going to bring more kids in. And the farm will just continue even if they're not there. So there will still be a family at the Gracefield house that they can't save. So I feel like they need to escape for now and then find out what to do about that. But that is a long-term goal, is probably to destroy the system. So yeah. Sorry, just got distracted by that. Let's work together to drag her down. It's true that our ultimate goals do match, thinks Dawn. And Emma looks upset. And then Norman grins. Wrong. It's not that she won't ship us out. She actually can't. And now, I'm thinking too, though, that if they were to escape, she could just say, she could like call it in and they'd be screwed anyway. A while after they escaped, she could keep tabs on them somehow. So they still shouldn't trust her, I don't think. Also, the reason she probably can't is, like I said, Isabella will probably get credit. She can't rat us out without proof. She has no power to ship us out. The demons trust Mama a whole lot more than Sister Crone. That's why she had no choice but to approach the targets themselves. Because she couldn't turn them in and get credit, because her boss would take a fraction of the credit. That's right. I've approached them to get some definitive proof. In the end, I'll make sure to eliminate all these annoying brats along with Isabella. By the end, I'll also have obtained my new status as Mama. This is my true objective. So see, she is still planning to eliminate them at some point. Well still, perhaps this kid in particular may have already realized my true aim. Heck, I'm pretty certain he has. If this lady's true objective was to actually help us escape, she had no need to approach us from the start. All she had to do was keep quiet and help us behind the scenes when we needed it. She's already revealed so much unnecessary information to us, she clearly wants to gain our trust. Once we trust her enough to give her some kind of definitive evidence against us, this woman will not hesitate to eliminate us all. She screwed up with Gilda, so she had to approach all of us next. It'll be a great bonus if she manages to obtain her evidence. But if she doesn't, and we successfully make our escape, she still gets to defeat Mama. Isn't that right, Sister Crone? So yeah, she wins either way, if she works with them, she wins either way, whether she succeeds in taking them down or not. And in addition to that, sorry, I forgot what I was thinking. Oh yeah, I didn't remember Gilda telling them about what Crone told her, but I guess she did. You may already know my true aim, but does that give you any other choice? You kids have no option but to partner up with me, otherwise I'll simply do all I can to sabotage all of your plans. I see how it is, thinks Norman, using each other to the maximum effect. I don't dislike it at all. Come, let's form an alliance, she says, reaching out her hand. I'm fine with that, however. We'll be the only ones using you. Wait, says Emma, and then they stop. I agree with Norman's final decision, but there's just one thing I want to make sure with you, Sister Crone. What is it, dear? Where's the proof that you won't betray us? And she looks pissed. Oh, it looks like you haven't learned to trust me yet. Just tell us. It's Ray. If Ray mentions a single thing about our interaction just now to Isabella, I can easily be crushed. But if I reveal Ray's true intentions to her, I can just as easily crush you all. Hence, both sides will be at a stalemate. Is that a good enough reason for you? Fine. It's a deal then. I had no idea that both adults were also raised like us. It's true, we both grew up in the Gracefield house. Well, we weren't raised in this third plantation we're standing in right now, though. I'll give you any other information you need that only I am capable of supplying to you children. Take it as a sign of friendship from me. Come to my room, even tonight if you'd like. Oh, Gilda, there's no need to be scared. I feel nothing but gratitude toward your very existence. Okay, so they weren't raised in the third one, but they were raised in the Gracefield house. Does that mean this place has been destroyed twice before, or does it mean that there are just multiple plantations and this is the third one and they're all called Gracefield House? And maybe they're all identical even. But yeah, either way. After all, it was all thanks to you two making such a ruckus back on that day that I was able to identify who my specific targets are. And now they're going to feel terrible because of them bringing this on the group. Talk to you later, kids. Don't let any of it get to you. I'm glad all this happened, says Norman. Now we won't even have to worry about distracting Sister Crone while we go on our investigation. Now, all we need is for Ray to make sure that Mama remains preoccupied during the entire mission. Make the best out of what I have, says Emma. That's why I really want to make the best out of what I have. She's thinking about what Crone said. She was one of us. She knows what it's like, and yet, how could she seriously think that a lifetime of raising a line of kids to eventually kill in the end is the best thing she could do? Cozy, pure, humane, love, family, motherhood. That woman doesn't care about any of us at all. So, obviously, yeah, she sees straight through what she's saying. I agree. She likely plans to ship us out in the end as initially planned, says Norman. The only reason why she doesn't right now is simply because she has no proof, power, or credibility. In uglier terms, the minute she gets her hands on any one of these three things, she'll definitely betray us in the blink of an eye. But the situation is favorable for our side. Power and credibility are surely things that cannot be easily obtained. So long as we prevent her from getting any evidence against us, she will have no choice but to let us go. Both sides know exactly what's going on. It's showtime. It may not be a genuine one, but let's carry on with this alliance for the moment. And then, they come to visit Krone. Come right in. Now, what is it that you want to ask about? I would love it if they were able to learn all about the outside world and how the system works from Krone. That would actually be really, really cool. So, yeah, good chapter. I've discussed a ton about what went on during the read through this time, so I don't really need to talk about chapter 20 a lot. Let's do 21 in the Omake now. So, let's go to 21. Now we see the mother bringing Krone to the gate. Number 18684. I thought the ones in the Gracefield house only had 4 numbers, but they have 5. Either way, maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm probably wrong. Like, why would I remember something like that? Number 18684, Krone. From today on, you are to work toward your ultimate goal of becoming a mama. The girl does everything it takes for the sake of survival. Our teacher, known as Grandma, told me, you must compete. This is how we must survive. Oh, so now we're seeing the mama training facility as well with Krone as a kid. This is really cool. Okay. And I like Krone as a character so much more now than even I already did. And you guys already know I said at the beginning how much I like the character. The adults chuckle atop a pile of corpses. And we have this great panel here. And look, all these corpses aren't kids but teenage girls. So this is probably going to be showing how brutal the system for becoming a mama actually is. Interesting. And this sounds terrible, but they need the brains from somewhere, so I'm sad to say, but are the rest used in breeding, or are they killed for their brains too? The plot keeps progressing, 23 pages this issue to celebrate the series' success. Chapter 21, An Obvious Trap. Come right in. Now, what would you like to know? Are you seriously planning on going? And we have a flashback. It's Sister Krone. She did say that she'd tell us anything, but what if her true intentions look like this? Gilda, I love so much. Gilda might be my new favorite. I don't know. I love Gilda. We'll be okay. We already know what the enemy wants, says Norman. It's to make us trust her enough to drop pieces of useful evidence in front of her. That's right. So our job is to prevent that from happening. We'll never trust her, and we'll never let her gain any evidence. However, we will gain information from her. Anyway, we've got to take advantage of everything we can. Keep in mind that there's no guarantee she'll tell us the complete truth, says Ray. I agree. I predict that she'll be throwing in at least a few lies here and there, but I still want to make use of her to the fullest. We'll gain information, and we'll feed her with lies as well. In essence, all we have to do is make sure we don't give ourselves away. Fire away, kids. Are you sure we can ask you about anything? Let's plan out our questions before we leave. Oh yes, anything. Whether it's about the farm, the headquarters, or how about what it feels like to be an adult who murders children, says Ray. Yes, I can answer that too, and anything else you'd like to know. Then, our first demand will be, show us that thing. The device you adults use to track us kids. Oh? Of course. What do you think? It's pretty simple, isn't it? You can't really identify who each mark represents. But I'm impressed that you already knew about the trackers. Yeah, Mama showed us once, but we don't know where they are or how to destroy them. And that's why you can't escape, huh? Says Krone. But do you know, Sister Krone? Yes, its location is here, somewhere in the left ear. So she's actually telling the truth now. I have no idea how to destroy them, but I'd advise against it. After all, both that thing and the headquarters will get an alert if you do. It's just like Ray said, and she didn't lie about the location either. You've got no choice but to remove them from your body. Cutting them out would be an option, I suppose. But this building has barely anything sharp. Knives, even the cooking knives we have, wouldn't do the job. And once we do make our escape, we won't have any medicine either. I'd rather not leave this place with a high risk of blood loss or a nasty infection. Well, There is a rather decent scalpel inside the medical kit here. You rarely ever need it, but it's there just in case an accident happens within the house grounds. All the tools and drugs you'll need will be in the infirmary as well, including anesthesia. I'd say we have enough material in stock for 5 kids. As for the key, I'll lend you mine. Heck, I'll even teach you how to properly carry out the procedure. And with that, this case is closed.'s next? And they're speechless. How old are you? Were you born into this state just like we were? Says Emma. Geez, have some decency. You should never ask a grown woman about her age. Is what I'd love to say, but I'm 26. Born in 2019, thinks Norman. I was born and raised in a Gracefield house. As for Isabella, she's 31, born in 2014. And she also was born and raised in a place like this. At least that's what it said in her records. But the books are from 2015, so she had to be born before all this happened, even though she was just a baby. Mama was born before that book was even published, and yet she was born on a farm like us too. So neither of these adults are from the outside world, How is the outside world? Have you ever seen it? Says Norman. Never. And they both look shocked. What, did you expect me to say yes, even if it was a lie? Finally, a change in expression. It's true, I haven't. But I know that there are humans out there. And, again, it's kind of like this sadness. Like, for even the bad person that Crone is, there's this tragedy that's behind it. Like, even the antagonists are tragic. Adults like us come from farms who produce your food, but there are also people from the outside world who produce and deliver all of our clothes and other supplies. Okay. Supplies. Like toys and books, says Norman. Yes, furniture and test materials also come from their side of the world. If that's true, then Mr. Minerva's books are also. I've actually seen one of them in the headquarters, just once in my life. From what I could tell, that human was on equal ground with them. And it's one of the demons talking to the human. Outside, there are humans who won't get eaten. Your goal should be to blend in with their society. Humans who won't get eaten, Emma thinks. If this is true, there's definitely a higher possibility of Mr. Minerva still being alive. If this is true, she was a farm animal since birth. She's never been in the outside world, thinks Norman. Wait, so Sister Crone, do you know when the demons came to our world? And why we ended... it might have been Emma thinking that just looking at Norman, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Wait, so Sister Crone, do you know when the demons came to our world, and why we all ended up like this? The demons? Oh, you mean them? I have no idea. Where's this farm located? No idea. How's the security around the farm? I can answer that. Honestly, it's not bad at all. They have so much faith in the trackers that there's barely any security. Heck, I don't think anybody even consistently comes around to patrol the area. It's true that I couldn't hear anything on the other side of the wall, but this is probably still a lie. There's no way that the security's going to be this lax. I agree as well. There's no way that they only have the trackers and the mama to watch all the kids. They've got to have some kind of external security outside the wall. Thank you very much. That's it? Yes, ma'am. Good night. They're intelligent, she thinks. They come headfirst towards me to obtain information that they don't even know if they should trust, and yet they're also taking care not to drop any obvious hints I could use against them. These kids, know exactly what's going on. As long as they don't let me obtain my evidence, I have no choice but to let them go. But still... And she starts laughing. They turn back around. I see. So you already knew where the trackers are located and how to destroy them. Very intriguing. I've learned a lot today. How? We planned this out. We haven't made any mistakes, and yet why? Information isn't necessary, or necessarily just words. And of course, it's the order of it, because I would have probably noticed too that, or I did notice that the reason they asked that first was obviously, we'll say something we already know the answer to see if she's lying or not, and then we ask more things. So, of course, she probably realized they asked me something they already knew so that they would know whether or not they trust what comes after. You both were very careful with your words. in order to hide what you truly wanted to get from me. You both paid the utmost attention to the way you worded and timed your questions. I'm proud of you both. But you both also let your guard down because you were overconfident in your ability to plan. Humans are like open books. You can learn so much about them just by watching them standing still. Attitude, eyes, blinking, sweat, actions, pupils, heart rate. Everything can become a very useful clue that allows you to check on your opponent. And yet, both of you didn't lift a single finger to check your ears once I revealed the location of the trackers. And with that, the case is closed. What's next? You didn't seem excited at all when I told you that there's a way to remove them safely. That's right, in the beginning we also... How stupid of me. She already knew that we would be smart enough to avoid making foolish mistakes, so instead of focusing on our language, on our visual reactions. So, why did you kids ask me questions you already knew the answers to? Is there still something that you're trying to hide from me? Don't worry, we still haven't dropped anything big enough for her to be able to have evidence against us. Yeah, well, whatever, she says. Do you know about... And then she says the thing that's, again, written in this alien language that we can't understand. Okay. What? You don't. Of course you don't. What did she just... I'll tell you all about that the next time you come visit me. So that must... Maybe that's the name of what they're calling demons, and she's just been calling them. Feel free to stop by again anytime. We'll definitely talk a lot more when you come by next. And Emma looks shocked as she's opening the door for her. They both walk out into the hallway. We were severely underestimating Sister Crone. She saw right through us. Yeah, she still doesn't have any proof against us, but still. Our aim was to not let her get any information out of our side. She too is just like Mama. She's an adult who's actually managed to stay alive in this harsh system to this day. I've realized just now that we do need to get out of this place as quickly as possible. We can't afford to slack around anymore, and because of that, tomorrow's planned investigation has to go perfectly. So yeah, we still don't know what they had to go through to get where they are, but the hints at what their training must have been had to have been grueling to make them into the mamas they are. Thursday, November 2nd, 6 days until the escape. Now, I suppose it's time, says Isabella. Mama finally makes a move. Oh God, this is gonna be rough. Oh God, things are gonna get real shitty, I'm feeling, after this omake. Either way, let's read the omake. How long is it, I wonder? It is 6 pages. Kinda normal. So I guess this is from the Volume 1, exclusives. The very first batch of the Promised Neverland specials. Enjoy these extra 4-panel comics. The plot is set 6 years ago during the fresh start of 2039. The Promised Neverland's extra Happy New Year 2039, and we see all the kids playing. It's a crime, first thing in the year. It's a crime scene. And Norman's collapsed on the ground. Wait, no, he hasn't been murdered. Mama, Norman fainted. Looks like a cold. Listen, children, for a while from now on, stay away from the infirmary. You must stay away. Okay? Hold on. I mean, she did say that, but I came to play. Emma! No, you can't. You'll catch my cold. I won't. I don't catch colds, so I'll be fine. Who told you that? Says Isabella, picking her up. I read in a book once that idiots don't catch colds, says Ray. I'll never give up. I'm here again. You can't. You'll get sick and Mama will get mad. Then just get me sick already. Huh? 'Cause if you do, we can finally be together, right? And then, again, Isabella dragging her back out. It said you could cure colds faster if you just pass it on to someone else, says Ray. You again? Let's all go. They've finally been restrained, and we have Emma tied up to a chair and Ray's mouth covered. Why won't you just give up? Just listen to Mama's advice. I'm sure Norman would rather prefer peace and quiet, too. But Norman's always alone because he gets sick all the time. That sucks. Emma. And then, of course, the mumble talking. Sorry, I have no idea what you're trying to say, Ray. Screw it. Let's just all go to see him together. I have a bad feeling about this. Let's go visit him. Just a little bit. Let us see Norman, please. Please, Mama. I don't remember either of these girls. Oh, they must be older girls that got shipped off. I wonder if they've become mamas or something. And maybe this is our first hints at them. I don't know. I admire the thought, but you must wait until he's better again. Please, let him go. Please, let us talk to him. Please, just let me hear a little bit of his voice. I didn't kidnap him. I got some herbs from the forest. That's just normal weed, honey. Or that's just a normal weed, honey. Oh, God. Misreading. Let us know. The nagging continued on into the night. But in the end, nobody was allowed inside. They're having so much fun, thinks Norman. The next day, and we have all the keep out tape around the door. She finally had to resort to this, and Norman inside looking concerned. And Emma outside hearing the coughing. Here, I'm back! And she busted in. Emma, I told you no, he's whispering. Here, a cup. Emma, quit sneaking around every time I look away. Talk to you soon, Norman. Soon, he thinks. On, it's a string cup. I'm not alone. Volume 1's in stores now. Volume 2's planned to hit shelves on February 3rd. Make sure to head over to your nearest bookstore. And then, hello? She's being into it. Now we can talk without being close by. And we have all of them smiling outside the door together. The feels. Okay, this was all very good, and maybe hints at those two new characters. Maybe they weren't food, maybe they became mamas as well. Who knows? I really want to see some Crone and Isabella backstory, though. I want to see what it was like, the training place that they were in that was teaching them to become the mamas. So, either way, the series is incredible. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to read again. And to do my best to catch up, but boy, when we get caught up, I don't want to say it's gonna suck, but when we get caught up, having to wait a week for each chapter and getting one chapter every week, it's gonna be murder. But either way, I love this. I friggin' love Crone's character so much. Isabella as well. I want to learn more about them. Emma and Gilda are two of my favorites, and of course I also like Don a lot more now, and I like Ray and Norman, obviously. I like Phil a lot. And again, the braid girl we know nothing about, but I like Phil a lot. How he's just this random genius little kid that's coming into play somewhat importantly here and there. But yeah, I guess that's it for this bi-week's read-through. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of these chapters, what you thought of my thoughts on them. Subscribe for more. The Promised Neverland, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us there, then just ask and I'll give you a link. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. At least I don't think I forgot anything, so see you all next time.